Next up at UFC Vegas 73, we have some more line movement. We have Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Vanessa Demopoulos, two of the longest last names that I had to squeeze on a graphic in a while. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 14-7 overall, 2-3 in her last five, but she is riding a nice 2-fight win streak after a 3-fight skid. She's taking on Vanessa Demopoulos, 9-4 overall, 4-1 in her last five, and she's coming off a win over Maria Oliveira. This is an interesting fight to break down. The line hasn't flipped, but it has pushed a little bit, right? Karolina opened as a slight favorite, and now she's just a little bit bigger of a favorite. Vanessa Demopoulos has flipped to plus money, but she was still an underdog at minus money. And I'm a little surprised by that movement. I think there's a lot of recency bias here for Karolina because the reality is Vanessa Demopoulos is very good. She's a solid striker. She can fight inside the pocket. She doesn't really have a ton of power, but she does have volume. She has footwork. If it goes to the ground, she's got solid grappling as well, and she could kind of make something happen. And she has that win over Maria Oliveira where her striking looked really good. She had a knockdown, but the reality is she really shined with her 2 takedowns in 8 minutes of control time. And I get it. Karolina is a straight up vet. She at one point was like, a title contender, was really in the mix for a while. Her losses are actually decent losses and went to American Top Team, made some big changes, and really seems to have put it together lately. But the reality is Vanessa Demopoulos is very, very good here. I think Vanessa is going to win this fight. I think it's going to be a close fight, potentially a back and forth fight. Is your dog okay?
Just scared the shit out of me. Just sneeze, just dead asleep, just a big old sneeze. Oh shit.
I do think Vanessa's going to get this done though, and what I really like to see is obviously her striking is solid, but Karolina is a very good striker herself. I liked the takedowns that we saw out of her in her last fight. So Vanessa takedown line, I don't know what that's going to be, but I do think Vanessa's going to win this fight, and I think over 2.5 is probably one of the safest bets on this entire card. Neither one of them is really a finisher. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Here's what I'll say about this fight. First of all, how you doing, Vanessa? Nice to meet you. My name's Jacob. I think that this is a carbon copy of the main event. You have the savvy veteran in Karolina, just like the savvy veteran in Angela Hill, who can kind of do everything, right, but isn't great at anything, not a real power or finisher threat, versus the grappler. I mean, that's exactly what Mackenzie Dern wants to do. That's exactly what Vanessa wants to do. They're both kind of dogs. They will march forward. They're not the best strikers, but they can kind of do enough in the pocket. But the difference is Vanessa actually has takedowns. I mean, Mackenzie Dern does not have takedowns. Vanessa actually has takedowns. Mackenzie Dern is a minus 170. I have no idea why Vanessa Demopoulos is the underdog in this fight. I mean, she's an absolute pit bull inside the octagon. She is nonstop in your face. I don't think Karolina is going to throw anything in her way to get kind of respect from Vanessa. Vanessa's going to march forward. She's going to be trying to shoot takedowns. She's going to be probably getting takedowns. And if not, I think she can even win the striking exchange just from the damage she can do, the pressure, and the volume that she can lay on a girl like Karolina. So I agree. There must be some recency bias because Karolina did look good in her last matchup, but I think Vanessa's an absolute dog here, and I can't believe that she's a dog in this fight. And I think that she can either get this to the ground, maybe find a finish, or just kind of out-tough her to a decision win. So I'm pretty high on Vanessa.
Well, when we talk about recency bias with Karolina, don't forget that was a sketchy scorecard. A lot of people think she lost that fight against Silvana Gomez Juarez. So it's not like she went in there and dominated, and she was losing the striking exchanges. She had to go to her wrestling. So I'm surprised by the recency bias, and maybe it's just her resume, right? They're giving her a lot of credit, and she is tough. She is very good. And like I said, she seems to have put things together recently. But you and I both on the Demopoulos side, and just surprised about that, honestly. And $7,700 in DraftKings, you're going to need some underdogs. This is going to go to a decision in all likelihood. But I still think that's solid money because DraftKings, takedowns are 5 points, control time scores. Every single strike, whether it's significant or not, scores well. So when you get somebody like Vanessa who's got high striking volume and potentially takedowns with control, I think she's going to score decently well here if she wins, and $7,700 is a good price point. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, it could be.
Sorry. You know where I got that from? You ever see that show Superstore? It's a very good show.
Nope.
Oh, it's a great show. It's like I don't know. It's like a Office, but at Walmart, essentially. But the first few seasons, there's this kid, one of their boyfriends is like such a turd, and he's just, this is the worst story in the world. Great character. He goes, beep, 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 beep. He always does that. Watch the show if you haven't. Great show. Great show. Great show. The problem is you youngsters, you TikTok generation, you don't have the patience to watch sitcoms anymore. And it's sad. It's very sad.